Hello, I need to start with I wanna wish you a happy new year. I wanna wish you a happy new year. I wanna wish you a happy new year from the bottom of my heart. In 1924, Toastmasters was established in California by Ralph Smedley. Today, Toastmasters International, a worldwide non-profit organization, has more than 16,000 clubs all over the world. The mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Roseburg Speakers and Storytellers was established in Oregon in 19 September 2005. Our members are from all over the world, and our meetings is on Mondays at 7 a.m. Oregon time and with the same Zoom link. Guests are always welcome. Mute your microphones during meeting unless you're going to speak, and leave your camera on to see your beautiful faces. Role takers, please identify your role in front of your names. Speaker, remember to pin video or time and be aware of the speaking time allocation. And now I want to hand over the control to our president, Tiger.
The RSS famous SAA, the singing SAA, as you are now known around the world. Thank you, Alice, and welcome everyone to our first meeting, 2021. It's a new year, and new years always bring about hope. I think this year is exceptional. I think we're all sick and tired of 2020 and we're ready to move on. So here we go. Let's start this year out with a positive meeting. Our theme for today is Seize the Day. And to seize the day is our fantabulous, experienced Toastmaster of the day, none other than Vicky. Vicky, the virtual podium is all yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. And first of all, Happy New Year to everyone. I'm very excited about this first meeting of RSS Toastmasters Club. So I thought about one of my favorite mantra, which is Carpe Diem. It's a Latin phrase that means seize the day. It encourages people to focus on the present, appreciate the value of every moment in life, and avoid postponing things unnecessarily, because every life eventually comes to an end. The Latin phrase, given a boost in popular culture by the 1989 film Dead Poets Society, I don't know if any of you have watched it, I haven't myself, is commonly translated as, we said, seize the day. For many, it has come to mean, do whatever the hell you want to do right now, or move to wherever place you want to move to. Tell off your toxic coworker. Eat the donut that you've been craving for, because who knows if there will even be a tomorrow. Tonight or tomorrow or this morning or this afternoon, we have a great team of Toastmasters who will be helping us to lead the meeting. And I would like to call on the first role player, none other than one of my favorite Toastmasters, Toastmaster Shilpa Singhal, to give the role of the accounter. Over to you, Shilpa.
Thank you, Vicky. A very happy new year to everyone. Carpe Diem, what a perfect theme. Seize the day and seize this year. Coming to the role of our counter today, I would observe the meeting and how everyone speak for the filler words. When we speak, we tend to use many a times expressions like double repeat words, filler words, ums. We tend to think, take a pause, and at that moment we use words that hinder our speech. I will observe what are the commonly used words and report it back to you at the end of the meeting. Back to you, Vicky.
Thank you, Accounter Shilpa. Now let's move on to another important role who will be also introducing the word of the day. Let me call on Toastmaster Ram Nutaki. Over to you, Ram.
Thank you very much, Vicky. And happy 2021 to everyone. I think it's got to be better than anything's got to be better than last year. So I'm really looking forward to the year. So I'm the grammarian today, and I have two basic parts to my role. The first part is the word of the day. And the word of the day that I've chosen today is scintillating. And that means bright or shiny. For example, the scintillating sun. Or can mean also someone who's brilliantly clever as well. So you could say he had a scintillating wit. So I'd urge everyone to use the word scintillating throughout the meeting. And I'll report back at the end of the meeting as to the use of the word. My other role as grammarian is to actually report on the use of language, use of things like metaphors, similes, onomatopoeia, and other devices, literary devices, to help make the English language more colorful. And I also report on any use of the language which I thought could be improved as well. So I'll report back at the end of the meeting. So I'll turn back the meeting back to our Toastmaster, Vicky.
Thank you, Ram. And let's try to make this meeting scintillating. I'm sure we have scintillating speakers, role players. I really can't wait. Now, for our famous timer who always grabs this role whenever no one else can take it, I would like to introduce our timer of the meeting, none other than Toastmaster Ayu Anantya. Over to you, Ayu.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Vicky. Today, I will just use the very old way of showing time. Back to the original. I will show the green, the yellow, and the red with pepper. For the prepared speech, you will have 5 to 7, and on my speech, it will be 10 to 12. And then for the table topic, it will be 1 to 2 minutes, which is 1 on the green, and then 1:30 on the yellow, and 2 on the red. And you will have 30 seconds to wrap up your speech. And then the third one is for the evaluation session, 2 to 3 minutes. 2 at green, 2:30 at yellow, and then 3 at red. Back to you, Vicky.
Thank you, Ayu. So Ayu, when I asked her about her thoughts on Carpe Diem, she said that, you know, Vicky, one of my teenage dream was visiting Switzerland. I still have no luck to land my feet there until today. The positivity that I realized from that dream is I may never be I may never be there in this life. However, the dream itself has brought me to some other places around the world, experience them equally beautiful or even better, and just keep dreaming. She sees the day where she could attend Toastmasters virtually in different parts of the world. I would now like to call her evaluator, Toastmaster Amy Hartshorn, to give the objectives of this speech project. Over to you, Amy.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Ayu will be speaking from, sorry, bear with me now. It is her final, oh, sorry about this. I was prepared to read that. I'm just trying to get it up now because I know it's in the chat. It's not opening. I'm sorry. I know it's the level 5. I know it's the final speech for the project that she's completed, and the purpose behind it is to reflect on her work and accomplishments throughout. I can't find the pathway that I is working from at the moment, but that is the general gist of it. So back to you, Toastmaster. Of the day.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, let's all warmly welcome the first speech of 2021, none other than Toastmaster Ayu Anantya. Let's give her a big round of applause.
Ayu, what makes you like you are now in Toastmasters? Whew, very active. What's wrong with you? This question came to me several times in the last 2-3 months. Fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, this is a story of my Toastmaster journey, of my pathways journey. Today I speak here in front of you for my final speech, for my first part, which is visionary communication. How I choose this path. I read all the path first on their description, and then I took the assessment, and guess what? It matched. Whoa, at the beginning I was thinking, wow, how can that be? How could that be? And then I also want to tell you about what I learned and I gained all the way. So flashback, in February 2020, I decided to join Toastmasters. I was so excited. Then COVID hit. Whew. Of course, at the beginning, I was so pessimistic. 1 month, 2 months. Then I said, this Zoom, wow. I started to realize that this Zoom opened up a way to learn more. I start visiting clubs around the world. US, England, Lebanon, Jordan. What else you said? New Zealand, Asian countries, and many more. Canada. And today I want to say I'm a proud member of 4 clubs. 2 in US, 2 in Bali, Indonesia. And almost a chartered members of 2 provisional clubs, 1 in US and 1 in Indonesia. One of them, hopefully, I will be the club sponsor. Whew, yeah, back to that question again. Why you are like you are now in Toastmaster, very active? What's wrong with you? Fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, I learned about communication. That is the first thing. That is about my pathway. I learned about my leadership style, my communication style, and guess what? In level 3, I increased my knowledge in how to deliver a speech using this gesture, emphasizing everything with my vocal variety. In the past, I used to say like this. Do you agree with me that language is magical? It is a bridge to connect people, both for those who have the same mindsets and the ones who have different perspectives. According to ethnologue.com, there are more than 7,000 languages exist today. Some are dying or even dead because only a few speak the language. My example will be Latin, Sanskrit, Old English, Swahili in Africa. Now, let me try again. Do you agree with me that language is magical? It is a bridge to connect people, both from those who have the same mindset and the one who have different perspective. According to ethnologue.com, there are more than 7,000 languages exist today. Some are dying or even dead because only a few speak the language. My example will be Latin, Sanskrit, Old English, Swahili in Africa. Can you see the difference? That's what I learned in Toastmasters. Another thing that I would like to show you outside Toastmasters, I used to say to a friend who bring gift, "Hey, how are you? Oh yeah, thank you for the mango. You are very nice. Next time, don't worry, I'm okay. Hey, by the way, where did you buy this? I would like to buy," and blah, 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 etc. and etc. Guess what? Sometimes the situation become very awkward. And now I usually just say, "Thank you for the mango. I love it. That's very nice of you." Because of the unnecessary word, or I erase that unnecessary sentences, my friend's smile is more like genuine. What I feel, what my friend feel is happiness, satisfaction. Just because I erase that unnecessary sentences. You don't know how I am grateful for being a Toastmaster. Just on that regard. Improve my relationship, my socializing way. Another thing that I learned in Toastmasters is not just communication, but leadership. When I first time Toastmaster, I never know how to do roles. But now, because of the repetition, there is a saying that practice makes perfect, or practice makes progress, and that is Toastmaster for me. Every time I visit club, every time I do a role, every time I do a speech, every time I see all my fellow Toastmasters here, the senior, when I say senior, means the Toastmaster that be a Toastmaster longer than me, like Vicky, a decade Vicky, Michelle. And by looking at them, by just quietly observing them, I learned a lot. How to do a speech with very informatively, educatively, or just when Tiger do a speech humorously, or Camille when giving a speech with a story, very entertaining. So there is another one more things that I learned in Toastmasters. Actually, two more. The first one is about helping my community. I learned how to help my fellow Toastmasters put their first step into pathways. And when I see the difference, when I saw the difference at the first speech, they were so tired and so not confident, and become very good now. It's one thing that make me so happy. And the second one is networking. So the most important thing why I'm in Toastmaster now, I would like to share one thing with you. I want to continue my study for the master degree. And a few weeks ago, a Toastmasters called me just because I share my dreams. She said, Ayu, look at this website. That website offers you a scholarship without looking at the age, or there is no age limitation. You don't know how happy I was, or I am now. When there is a will, there is a way. Toastmaster is just one door, and I opened that door. Toastmaster is just a way, and I opened that way. There's probably many more ways for you all, Sarah, Alice, Esther. But who knows? At least now I'm telling you, Toastmaster has given me a hope. In 2021, I will streaming again. So fellow Toastmaster ladies and gentlemen, sorry to answer why I become me now in Toastmaster. What is your way? What is your will? Back to you, Toastmasters. Oh, we lost Vicky. Vicky is not here. Okay, so fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, we can just proceed. Are you ready, Michelle?
Yes, I'm ready. And I actually wanted to have Vicky explain briefly that this is a part of an hour-long presentation that I will be giving on Wednesday. I just wanted to test how quickly I could go through the slides. If I could do it in 5 to 7 minutes. So this is actually showing slides for 5 to 7 minutes, preliminary to a 1-hour speech. So the time for this will be the usual 5 minutes.
Okay. So here, Michelle with judges training, Michelle Albalim.
Thank you very much. And in case some of you noticed, there was an accidental slide share earlier. I was testing this, so I apologize for that. So we are having a 1-hour judges training. Before we go into the interactive session, I wanted to briefly go over the slides that Toastmasters International wants everyone to go through when you are attending judges training. So first of all, what are the purposes of contest? We provide an opportunity to practice competitive speaking. We provide interesting educational programs for members and the public. And we provide an opportunity to learn by observing proficient speakers. Knowing that these are the purposes of a contest, judges have an obligation to the contestants, to Toastmasters International, to the audience, and of course to themselves. And we have to remember that judging is different from evaluating. Judges are for selecting a winner, whereas evaluating, as we see in our club meetings, is for appraisal and advice. So those are two different things. The judge's decisions are confidential. We need to remember that. If you are a judge, you cannot talk about what you rated or who you rated as highest or anything about the contest. So good judges are accurate. They are fair. And this is very difficult because we are human beings. But as much as we can, we need to strive to be fair. And as I mentioned earlier, trustworthy. We cannot divulge the information. Also, of course, knowledgeable. What do we mean by that? The judges need to have some kind of experience with speeches. And that's why later on we'll mention that there are certain requirements to be a judge. And needless to say, judges need to be good listeners. What are some of the barriers to objectivity? One is the speaker position. If the speaker is the first one speaking or if he is the last, that tends to create some kind of bias. And another barrier is champion for the underdog. Sometimes judges feel, oh, he has a speech impediment or, oh, he has some handicap, so we need to give him a better chance. That should not be part of your judging, although it's difficult. The halo effect. For example, if a speaker has a scintillating smile, then we tend to think that the speaker is good in everything, including speech organization, which does not necessarily follow. Or the reverse halo effect, wherein, for example, a speaker is talking about a subject that you personally disagree with, and then you tend to rate the overall speech lower because you disagree with the topic. And again, that is not being objective. Another barrier is, oh, I've seen this speaker before. This speaker has competed before. So this is the second time around. And trying to give that speaker a better chance. Again, that is not being objective. And another, this one I personally experienced one time when I was competing. It's not the norm. One time I came in wearing rugged blue jeans and a rugged vest, and one of the judges said later on, you were dressed too casually. It wasn't the norm. It wasn't conventional. And I said, yeah, but my speech was supposed to be about traveling casually on a Greyhound bus. So as a judge, you need to strive for objectivity. Of course, remain it. We don't have to say it, but it's always there. We also have our prejudices and personal preferences. So we also have to look out for that. Of course, the best way to prevent misconceptions is to know the Toastmaster rules. And there is a long rule book, which we will be covering only in passing during the rest of this hour. We will not go through that, but I will post a link to the contest rule book. The judge's guide and ballot is your mantra. You need to study it and stay with the points. Don't, for example, include the time. The time is not part of your judging. The timers will take care of that. And again, this is easier said than done. I know because I always tend to be timing, like even now I'm timing myself. So, but you are not supposed to judge based on how well the speaker used his time. So your guide, take notes, use the suggested points, as I mentioned, use other point values, pluses or minuses if that will help you, and look at the percentages. For example, with the judging items for an international speech, there's speech development, effectiveness, speech value, the physical, voice, manner, appropriateness, and correctness. You need to look at all of those. How about the delivery? And finally, the language. And this is somewhat language we need to be considerate because language, English, is a second language for many of our contestants. As far as content, you need to look, as I mentioned, at speech development, effectiveness, and speech value. And as far as delivery, the physical, voice, and manner, language, appropriateness, and correctness. In conclusion, the strongest principle of growth lies in human choice. So we as judges need to apply that both when we judge as well as when we are listening. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle, for the speech. Now I know how to do a judge. So is Tiger here? Yes. So now let's get started with our table topic sessions. Will be led by our President Tiger.
Thank you very much, IU, and nice job stepping in as the Toastmaster of the day. Seize the day, just as IU did. He gave a speech, jumped in as Toastmaster of the day. Michelle, thank you very much for that presentation. Let's start with our guest, Camille, who looks to me like she is ready to seize the day and jump on my first question. Camille, what are you going to do to seize 2021?
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master, for that scintillating question. I think what I'm going to do this year is kind of reverse things. And instead of losing weight, I'm going to gain 30 pounds, going to break up with my boyfriend, going to quit my job. I mean, I'm going to do all the things that I really want to do to seize the day. Of course, I won't tell off my coworkers because you never know, they could be a boss at somewhere else. You know what I mean? And so if you need to come back, get a job, you don't want to run into somebody that you told off previously. Let me tell you about my New Year's. We didn't go any. I have a housemate. It's not like that. We're just buddies. He's a male. So we stayed up to 12 o'clock. And then after that, we watched Bruce Lee movies. Bruce Lee was like really an overcomer type guy, but he was also sort of maybe a rectum hole. And then after that, we went to bed, not separately. And the people across the street decided to play music. Now I call this music Huda Buddha music because it goes Huda Buddha, Huda Buddha, Huda Buddha, Huda Buddha, Huda all night, all night long. And I'm glad I don't own a gun or a BB gun, but I'm like, I just want to go over there and play the crazy black woman, but I didn't want to get shot either. But that's what it was like. And I'm going to seize actually the rest of this year by maybe at least one of my goals is completing one pathway, and visiting more clubs around the U.S. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Camille, for that very entertaining response. The first table topic response for the year. What a great way to start. See, we're going to quit our job. We're going to eat whatever we want. We're going to break up with our boyfriend. I mean, what a great year, I'm thinking. All right, let's move on to our next participant. That's going to be a tough act to follow. Esther.
Hello.
Esther, how about you explain to us why it is that you continue to show up and seize the day with RSS?
Can you say that again?
Could you explain to us why you continue to come and visit us?
Oh, because I want to learn English and I want to communicate with people from all over the world. I want to know different culture from different nations. And because the Toastmaster people respect each other, even though someone's English is not very good, but people encourage others. So I feel comfortable my confidence is improved. Everybody on Toastmaster smile, say hello, say goodbye to each other. Good manners, respect one another. I feel peace, calm, very happy. It brings joy to my heart. Just like the Indonesia lady said, the language is a gate. It's a gate to the world. She got her master degree, and I think it's also a door to other people. In China, a famous businessman, he is very rich, and because he learned English, and he has the key to know the world, and so he became a very rich man. Thank English. The language can give people more rich, more knowledge. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Esther. Excellent. And of course, we want you to continue to keep coming back. We love you here, and we look at you as a member of our club. So you know you're always welcome. Alice, our singing SAA. Look at her. Look at the expression on her face. Like, me? Alice, tell us a story of an example, a story or an example where you seized the day. You had an opportunity and you took advantage of it.
Hello, Tiger. For me, to seize the day is to talk to table topics master. But I have a story for you. When I was in my teens, I had a friend, a girlfriend, which is my best friend. She's my best friend. She's Jenny, and we had watched to the cinema the Blue movie of Kieslowski. Blue. And then we took flowers, very cheap flowers, and we started to offer flowers to the strangers on the street, on the road. And we observed how they reacted. Some of them were smiling, some of them were, what are they doing? They're crazy. But we liked it very much. Some days later, we did that again, and we chose beautiful young boys to offer the flowers. And it was very, it was like seizing the day. Thank you very much.
That was perfect. That was a scintillating response. What a great smile. What a great laugh, Alice. Thank you so much. And Vicky, welcome back. Yay.
Hallelujah.
I think I have time for one more, correct? IU, are we good for one more? Let's go with Shilpa. Shilpa, give us an example for you where you seized the day. Any example, any story.
Thank you, Tiger, for that question. Seize the day. That is the status of my WhatsApp account. In Dutch, I call it plug the dog. Another way to say carpe diem. So I truly believe in the spirit. I truly believe in Vicky's mantra of seize the day. What else do we have if we do not pounce on the opportunities to prove ourselves, to make ourselves feel good, to do that no one else is doing? I think life is all about taking those risks, taking those opportunities, and seizing the day. Plug the dog, seize the day. That should be our spirit going forward in 2020 as well. For me, in Toastmasters, I take any opportunity that comes my way. In life, my plans do not always go as per they were chalked out, but I just try to grab on whatever comes my way and try to make the most of it. For me, like I did my Dutch course at the time when there were no one teaching Dutch, because when I came here, I was in the middle of the session. So I thought, why not do it myself? While washing the dishes, I used to put on a video where it taught me Dutch language words. And then that is a small example of how I try to make the most of every moment, every time that I have on hand. Back to you, Tiger. Thank you for the question.
Thank you so much, Shilpa, for that response. And yes, you seize the day every Monday for me. So continue to do that. I just want one last comment about our timer seizing the day, last second timer. I love the old fashioned timing. I kind of missed the little light thing. Remember back when we had meetings and you had that little light thing? We'll get back to that someday. All right, well, thank you so much, everyone, for participating in Table Topics. I will now return to our Toastmaster of the day, who has magically reappeared via the magic of Zoom. Vicky, it's all yours.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. You know, instead of me seizing the day, the electricity seized my day. And all of a sudden it was a blackout. Thank God I'm back. And I would like to talk about Tiger's introduction. In fairness, he said that when I was 20 and in college, I walked by a recreational soccer football match. One of the players invited me to join. I told him I did not know how to play, and he laughed and said, "Just run." I was soon playing every afternoon and joined the club team. This led me to starting a soccer program and coaching high school soccer in a small town. Unfortunately, I could not mention Michelle's. I'm sure she wants me, but maybe we could mention it after the meeting. It was a very interesting seize the day moment for Michelle. Now let's move on to another favorite part of mine, which is the general evaluation. I would like to talk about Sarah's seize the day. She said that once I wanted to travel for a weekend from Germany to Amsterdam with other colleagues on a very normal Friday. We checked the train tickets and they turned to be very cheap, so that we spontaneously decided to hurry after work and catch the train. I just traveled with my handbag for the weekend. The weekend was really fun, and I'm glad we did it even without planning. You know, in Carpe Diem, the society we live in provides with ample distractions which stop us thinking about our own mortality. Face up to the fact that you're not going to live forever and realize that each day is a gift. I believe everyone can reap real benefits from trying to experience each day as much as possible. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, Carpe Diem. Grant yourself some pleasure today. Gather in today's harvest because we have absolutely no clue what tomorrow holds. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, let us welcome our General Evaluator, Sarah Diaz.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you for that introduction. I'm very happy to be the General Evaluator for the first time in this year. because, you know, last year we already saw scintillating grow in the level in our meetings, and I'm sure that we will improve that level in this year. But that's why the feedback is key in this case. And I will start with my team that will help with the feedback and evaluation in this meeting. And let me call first on Amy, who will evaluate the speech of Ayu. So please, Amy, the virtual floor is yours.
Thank you, Sarah. I have the pleasure of evaluating Ayu's speech today. This was her summary speech ending her first path of everything that she's learned from this. Ayu threw in a quote, where there is a will, there is a way. That, I think, sums up Ayu. She is there with full animation to sort anything out. And you see that through the lessons that she's learned that she spoke to us about in the speech. The speech started with great animation. You kind of jumped in and you did, Ayu had your typical Ayu signature self of just blasting energy onto all of us. This is a brilliant way to begin the speech. You brought us through the lessons that you learned, and there were examples. So with the vocal variety, naturally your vocal variety is fantastic. You also explained how this is something you've learned over your journey. You also said how you've learned about speaking less is important and something that you picked up in Toastmasters. You gave us this fantastic example of when you were receiving a gift from your friend and you used to babble before and get all awkward, and now you've learned to just be like, okay, thank you. While you were doing all this, I was watching the audience and people were laughing and people were really engaging. So there's this, you have a natural audience engagement when you're speaking. Recommendations that I would have around around the speech today would be, main one is around structure. I felt the speech could benefit from more structure, maybe in the beginning, like clear signposting of where we were going to be going with it. And then, so yeah, if we had that at the beginning, and then I kind of felt that there was a lot going on. So we had our, started off with a personal journey, then we had the importance of language, then we had the value of saying less, then we had leadership, we had helping others, and we had networking. So there was a lot there. So possibly to have fewer ones, I know it's hard because it's everything you've learned, but fewer ones, go a bit deeper into them and tie a key string of a big powerful lesson that you can bang us with at the end, which in fairness you still did, but I just felt there was a lot of there was a lot going on there. So I think if you could just narrow it down a bit. One other recommendation, and this is just out of curiosity, I'd love to see you standing when you speak and throw your full self in, because you give so much animation. So I'd love to see that. But overall, the recommendations were structure, Joe narrowing down a little bit, standing up, giving us that. Commendations, it was fantastic. Vocal variety, all the things you learned, you gave and you said there and you showed them to us. So thanks a million for the speech, Ayu, and thanks for everything you teach us with what you bring to Toastmasters.
Thank you, Amy. Great recommendations that we can also use for our speeches. And the next feedback will be given by Melba to Michelle. So please, Melba, join the stage and tell us how Michelle did.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Congratulations, Michelle. You finished your project I'm happy to be your evaluator. It's my first time. Well, I really do love your when you speak. I don't know why. It's like, oh, I get mad and I get engaged of your speech. And three things that I like your speech first. The first, you always use easy words. I don't know why you always easy words and make me understand what you said, what you meant. Oh, you talk about this. Oh, I get it. You always use easy words. It helps us. And the second, vocal variety. You always use slow intonation, right? It's not speed. Yeah, sometimes you speed, but mostly you use slow intonation and make it slow. And all right, it's like you are soft. It means maybe your personality is soft because it makes it slow. It's nice to hear. Actually, I didn't realize you speak. I think at the time you just try to handle the trouble because yeah, something happens. But oh my god, I just realized you speak after Miss Ayu share get noticed great. Oh, and the last one, I like your gesture when you get surprised, like, oh, it's nice. Oh my god, it's look funny, I think. And the hand, when you use your hands like position, make a position, the top and the low. Yeah, it's easy to us to understand how to this one. Okay, it's nice, I think. And actually, you have to show your slide, right? Because yeah, get trouble, you just explain it. Actually, it's suddenly explaining. You can handle it. May I suggest is I think you need to check the slide before you speak, and just yeah, maybe we can fix it. But overall, you are great, and your speech is scintillating. Thanks. Back to you, Zara.
Thank you, Melba. Scintillating feedback indeed. Now I would like to call upon our grammarian to tell us how we did in the meeting with the word of the day and in general the good and bad uses of the language. So please, Ram, sorry.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, it's my pleasure to report that scintillating seemed to have been a fairly popular word. So we had Shilpa, Vicky, Michelle, Camille, Tiger, Sarah, and Melva all use it. So well done to everyone for using that word. And actually, I love that word. I think it's a very, very positive and very uplifting word, actually. So I keep using it even in your everyday life. So in terms of language, yeah, I think there was some really good use of language, lots of really good use of metaphor. For example, Vicky said each day is a gift. IU, language is magical. Language is a bridge to connect people. And I also use the repetition. So Toastmasters is a door, Toastmasters is a way. And I also, like Michelle, she used some things, the halo effect, I quite like that. And the reverse halo effect. I thought that was a very effective way of, it really is a colorful way of describing the effect of when you have something good or negative that the judges latch onto. I like Camille, she used the word Oda Buddha to describe the music. I thought that was very interesting and very colorful and sounded very interesting as well. And yeah, Shilpa said, take any opportunity, make the most of the moment. And then Tiger said, magically reappeared. And I thought that was very well done. So overall, really good use of language, and I keep encouraging you to use metaphors, similes, and there's a whole bunch of figures of speech. And just think about maybe how you can use them in your speeches and when you are a functionary. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ram. Thank you for that word. I will use it in my language too. I also think it's very positive and it sounds really nice. So now I will call on Shilpa to give us the report of the A's and M's, etc.
Thank you, Sarah. Our club is scintillating in terms of no use of the filler words. Everyone kept the filler words to a minimum. The R's and ums were really less. Barely anyone went into the double figures at all. What we have also mastered is that when we are approaching a pause, we feel that we might be at a position we would say, we try to elongate our words. Many of our members did that today, including Sarah, Ayu, Vicky, Michelle, many people. And that is a very good technique. Probably other clubs, other Toastmasters can learn from it. What I have noticed is that we also tend to use double words lot many times because we have crossed one barrier of the filler words R's and ums. We probably now try to cross the second barrier of using the repetitive words like Ayu said, observing. And when the speeches are long or when you give a long speech, that's very normal. But this was an example how we can try to avoid those things. Ram hit an unexpected patch of R's and ums in between, and it can happen to the best of speakers. Sometimes it just happens to you when words don't come to you. That's natural. Keeping all that in mind, we are doing an excellent job here. Just try to cross the second hurdle of the repeat words now. That's a challenge in 2021 for all our members. Back to you, Sarah.
Thank you, Shilpa, and thank you for that challenge. We will take it with us. Now we have another report from our timer and speaker. Please, Ayu, tell us your comments about the timings.
Ayu, 11 minutes 22 seconds. Michelle, 6:24. Camille, 1 minute 28. Esther, 2 minutes 28. Alice, 1 minute 30. Silpa, 1 minute 52. Amy, 3 minutes 35. And Melpa, 2 minutes 52. Well, Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, I will have to say that everybody is actually pretty good in speaking in allotted time. A little bit like Amy, maybe only 5 seconds, but again, the things about timing is to give us a sense of doing a better time management. Back to you, Sarah. Well done, RSS.
Thank you, Ayu. Thank you. And now it's my time to give my feedback of the overall meeting, my recommendations, and also to highlight the good practices. Ayu, please don't forget the time, even when you already have given the report. Let me start to tell you that the meeting is not only this part, not only this hour, but also the preparation that comes before. And I saw that Vicky shows the topic very good ahead. She sent us an email to get the information of everyone. It was a very interesting topic because when we are all thinking about resolutions, about this year, about the future, now we need to think about the present. Carpe Diem. Just to think, what should we do now? What is that brings us happiness now? That was a very interesting topic. Thank you, Vicky. Then at the beginning of the meeting, some roles were not taken. so that Ayu step in with a speech, and then we have other, let's say, small problems. Vicky was not in the meeting anymore, and then Tiger stepped in as a table topics master. That was great. I really love that in this club, that everyone is so enthusiastic to take roles, even at the last minute. We do it very good. We keep laughing, we keep learning and having fun. So I really liked it last year, and I'm sure this year will be even better. I also noticed at the beginning of the meeting, Vicky introducing the topic very well, explaining it very good, etc. But I missed something, the structure of the meeting. I know we don't have guests today, but sometimes we have guests, and for the benefit of them, it's very good to explain how is the meeting gonna be. First, the prepared speeches, the table topics, evaluations, etc. It's just one recommendation. Then we had the two speeches, which were very good. Ayu, very inspiring, and Michelle, very informative. For the grammarian, I have another recommendation. We have a perfect word of the day. We saw it once in the chat. I heard that recommendation in the last meeting, just to keep posting it in the chat sometimes during the meeting so that we don't forget to use it. Also for the table topic master, I know it was very spontaneously that Tiger did that role, but maybe remind again about the usage of the word of the day. For the feedback, Amy, great. You mentioned the parts of the speech of Ayu which were well done. You also mentioned the recommendations, but not only the recommendations, also how to use it. You also stand up and said, Ayu, how you would like to have the speech for the next time. That was great. And for Melba, the same. I didn't know it was the first time you were evaluating. It was really, really good. I like that you also mentioned recommendations. You also mentioned how to do it better. You also highlighted the good practices of Michelle, and I really like it. Yeah, that's all that I have in my notes. For all the reports, the timing, Ayu, perfect. Thank you very much for taking two roles. That's for sure not easy, but you did it. Then Shilpa, the report was also great, giving us another challenge for this year. And Ram also noticing all the good uses of the language, all the participants in the table topics. It was very amazing to hear to you. And yeah, let's keep this pace and let's keep improving this year. Thank you very much. And back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Vicky.
Thank you, Sarah, for a very comprehensive report of the General Evaluator. Now I would like to turn back the virtual screen to our president, Toastmaster Tiger. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Vicky. And our first meeting for 2021 is in the books. What a great meeting. What a great way to start. Greatly appreciate everybody's participation. You guys showed up, gave it your best effort. Carpe Diem, seize the day. I love Monday mornings. I absolutely love it. I told our VPE, I've been sleeping through my, I'm in a time warp. I've been sleeping through my alarm. So I told our VPE, you make sure and call me at 6 a.m. If you don't hear from me, you call me because I need to be up and raring to go to seize this day. Fortunately, I actually woke up on my own today because I get so excited about RSS. Well, Miss VPE, do you have anything to add, or are we ready to go ahead and move on and close the meeting?
Okay, so only a few business to remind everyone, since everyone is still here, our TLI is coming up. So Michelle has already sent the TLI things to Alice too. If Alice would like to attend, then please do, Alice. For Silva and we don't have Yasmin here. Okay, the next thing I would like to say is just well done, RSS. Our meeting is always 50% to 70% above members always attending. And that is the most important. I always say that member is the jewel of the club. And please, 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 if you like to learn how to do a role, just sign up. And then if you want to do a speech, sign up. And if you don't know how to do, there is Michelle, Tiger, Vicky, you can call me, or Silva, Ram. They are all, Amy too, Sarah probably. So that's all from me, and back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Well, while we have a moment, let's get response from Camille. We appreciate you coming back to visit us. Camille, how do you experience our meeting today?
I thought it was a scintillating meeting. I came back because I received 2 emails, which I think is very smart to get people to come back. I actually am at work right now. I wasn't working last week, which is why I was there. You made it worth my while to come and visit you again. So I do appreciate you letting me step in and visit you guys.
Excellent. Well, you're now welcome anytime. So we will continue to email you. We'll continue to bug you to come because we like you. You fit right in with us. So you're engaging and you smile and you fit right in with this group. So absolutely come back. Sarah, how does it feel to be back? Hopefully we're going to get to see a bunch of you this year.
Thank you, Tiger. It was my first time as a general evaluator. It was very interesting to watch the development of the whole meeting. And I really like it. I will keep coming as much as I can.
Excellent. Well, and you, of course, know you're welcome every week. You don't even have to tell you just show up. Excellent general evaluation, by the way. That was very well done. And that is one thing I love about RSS is the flexibility. We do tend to be able to roll with the flow very well. Esther, you're not really a guest anymore, but how was your meeting today, Esther?
Today's meeting, I feel excited and Ayu's speech touched my heart. I cried because she said she got a master's degree. The language is a miracle and practice makes perfect. So the language opened a door for her and also for everybody. Master language so you can communicate with people from all over the world. I love her speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Esther. So unless anyone else has a comment to make, I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting. Of course, you're all welcome to stay afterwards if you'd like to chat and have a little session of fun sharing. But for right now, let's go ahead and end the meeting. So on 3, I'll go ahead and officially end the first RSS meeting of 2021. 1, 2, and 3.